So this is Veru redeemed some channel points to pick a game for today. Um, which anybody with the points can do, and I will, if I have the game, I will play it. Play it for as long as I can for today. If I enjoy it, we'll see how it goes. This is Roadwarden. It's an illustrated text-based RPG that uses isometric pixel art and combines mechanics borrowed from RPGs, visual novels, adventure games, and interactive fiction. It's got good reviews. Came out in 2022 from Moral Anxiety Studio. That's a great name. Published by Assemble Entertainment. There was a demo, but this is the full version. It's on sale. I wonder when I got this, because I can't remember buying this. Oh, sorry. I just got a key in for a game. I don't know when I got this. Roadwarden. Maybe this was a. Maybe this was a humble game. I can't remember buying it anyway. We're going to play it though. Let's load it up. Does Veru have it? Veru's got it. Okay, so he's played it, and so does Random, and so does Mitral. Oh, and Vincenti. Right. Let's see what it is. Roadwarden. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Welcome to anniversary patch. Okay, improves a few stories and bits of interface, but sadly it won't work well with the old saves. Okay. Recommend starting your playthrough from the beginning. In the newly available advanced difficulty settings, you can choose to skip the opening section of the game. Okay. Let me just check a few things here. How's the... I'm just going to up the music because there's not going to be much else, probably. Show tutorials, deaf support, okay. The narration describes sounds and... Oh wait, so there is narration. Or text narration, okay. We can have pixel fonts, or we can have basic fonts. I'm going to stick with pixel. Quotes is okay. Controls. Quick save. Journal. Map. Okay. How do I get back out of here? Do we just say new game? Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and, if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. Let's leave the safety of the city walls. I was just trying... Oh, it's a bird. Is it hovering? Okay, pick a difficulty mode. Can't be altered later on, okay. Oh, I don't like time limits. Can we go with casual? Because I don't like time limits. That's the only thing that's stopping me going with that, is the time limit. We're gonna go casual. Okay, the wall is still standing. There are no wolves around. No stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You are supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no signs of labour. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers. What are pebblers? But not beastfolk nor trolls. And the night is near. Sounds like Valheim. Your palfrey breaths. Sorry, your palfrey breath. No, what is that? Your palfrey breathes heavily. What's a palfrey? What does palfrey mean? To me, that's something else. Oh, it's a horse. Okay. A docile horse used for ordinary riding, especially by women. I've never heard that term before. Okay. We've learnt something new. So we have to pick something. I could just look for another shelter. Your palfrey breathes Your palfrey breathes breathily in the breeze. It's hard to say, isn't it? I've never seen that word before. I could just look for another shelter. I need to look around. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. I think we will dismount and sneak up to the gate. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. What's this? Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available. The weaker you are, the higher your die in combat. I feel well. Oh, did I just click on this to get rid of it? Okay. What's this for? What's the time? Okay. It's a military camp. It doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, and the fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbour. It's quite nice music, isn't it? They don't look much of a threat. One of them's probably drunk. They're obviously not talking to each other, so they won't help each other out. Is that a chair that's been thrown back or something? It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes and his beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. Take a look at the second person. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven as if she's protecting herself from the flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary, yet kind, and she smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. Well, we'll ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Friendly, playful, distanced, hint at a threat, or vulnerable. Okay, so what will we do? I think we'll just do friendly. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I. though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. Just wonder why these are highlighted. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no way, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. Sorry, no hay. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. They seem friendly enough. We'll go with the first one. Okay, we can have a name, can we? We're just going to be Draven. And not lead to our tradies or whatever. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. Ah, there's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. Let's go with the no problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion. I wanted to feel at ease. Yeah, let's go with that one. I didn't like the second one. He takes a few steps forward towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of his neck, with strength and confidence just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. Speak it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine his back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. We need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. It shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Right, what are we going to be? We're going to be a fighter. Spent your savings on a decent combat equipment. You have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Or we're going to be a mage with talismans that help you use your powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Or a scholar, carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a small healing potion. We could learn about them. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes, what opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. The fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe. But as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, Distract a beast with a simple trick and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's power too freely will result in having no Numa left when you need it most. And the scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with his knowledge. You'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. Fighter or mage? Which one? We're not an RPG beginner. Well, we try to think we're not. Let's go with mage. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinder box, bandages, food rations, knife, nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. We can open our inventory. Taking hits will damage your armor, okay. 2 out of 4. So we have our food rations. We have a pouch with 10 coins. Our gambeson, our magical amulets. Travel set. And weapons. Hey, I could save. We have our journal. So we can actually write notes, that's handy. Okay. And that's everything that's been said, okay. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table, so you sit down on a tree log. Could be poisoned. We can join them and take a look at the meal. Thank them for the meal, but they don't want to eat with them. Let's just do this. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting, okay. So that's our food. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward. His legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. We'll just share what considered to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since the area is too far away from Hovlevan to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where shall we start? Can't do that, right. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what, I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get there? You nod. The sea route allows Hovland officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and well... He turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Draven. But, are you a devout soul? Are we a devout soul? People should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Support the monastery. So it's the Order of Truth. From a small village, community is unique, independent. I have a place in my fellowship. Strong connection to nature and spirits and follow the path of ancestors. A pagan. There's no evidence of, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Well, we're a mage, so we should probably go for the last one. The man nods. I heard that most Roadwardens drift away from the churches. It doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think, adds the lieutenant, peeping at her companion. I just wanted to make sure I won't step on any touchy subjects. You won't. Go ahead. The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her fingers. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan. I don't think it even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without the city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with the necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it. The lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tulia nods. Pelt to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper, or the guards, ask them about the road. How about to the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There were hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. That's all I need to know. Is it? Monsters? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants. Not treants. Well, yeah. Cats, large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffons, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though the palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight for more food and territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast, just count on luck. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. How about a rope? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. A fine rope. Could leave some food, maybe, or just buy it. We've got 10 coins. Julia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. I guess we should need to ask about the Roadwarden. Julia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him in almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in the early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Hey, I see. How are you today? Yeah, I had a fine break, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Astro never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyous chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in the basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but, unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink his teeth into an innocent passerby. You know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. He also took a look at Astron's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovloven. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent pole, some potions, quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We were meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovloven together. You think about your real reason. You were planning to return to Hovlivin in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, useless spear mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout, long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him, dead or alive. Left, just let me know. Okay, I'm just gonna head up to the other place. Are you sure? Says the bearded man. We may not be around the next time you come here. No, that's everything. I agree. Julia sighs with relief, and may you do better than Astrid did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Splitting time between 3 people makes a great difference. You think for a moment. To fully rest, you'd need a good sleep. We may as well. Fabulous. He pats your shoulder. It should be calm, at least before midnight. Wake me up in a few hours or even earlier if anything happens. I nod. You go to the barrel and splash water in your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. What's this one? Appearance, okay. Stay tidy to have a better chance to influence others. Soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's one really loud were elk that keeps smelling. Just reminds me of Dwarf Forest. I had a were elk that keeps smelling the wall, though he does never try to get in. He points at the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone has been chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is in the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. Excuse me. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up the tallest one. You'll have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest, just this once. At least I have a pallet inside. Smile, thanks a lot. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time your back aches and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point you see a 3-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me and I keep looking around. There's a lot of reading. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a grey hare. A group of musk-oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. You gather my things and squeeze into the tent. Use the bag as a pillow and put your blanket on the pallet and cover yourself with your cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but is a much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources and threats, get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Roadwarden officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Hovlevan. There you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Gather coins, save your sibling from debt, retire early, become a player in the Merchant Guild, become a hero, help people, find a new life. I'm going to do this one. You're half. What's this? You can't travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. Okay. Your half asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. Okay, all I can do now is rest. You can spend the night in the board tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain, and the ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. Okay, so we'll sleep. Does that mean it gives us one back? Plus, plus, minus. Alright, no, it's taken one away. So we'll be left with that. You find that your life goes hard. Okay, we're off to sleep. You take a look at your amulets. For most people, they would be nothing more than trash, but you wouldn't sell them for a pouch of dragon bones. Use them to shape Numa to your will. With these little mementos, the few spells you're familiar with are far more reliable. Who knows? Maybe there's already some power held in them. You look at the old, through clean bandages that remember dozens of herbal balms and wounds. You can put them on your hurting muscles, bruises and scratches, then hum an old song about time, which either heals all wounds or kills us too soon to let us bother with our problems. After a few hours or so, the linen will warm up, confirming it did its job. This tent may not be much, but your spell would make you feel as good as new, though you'd lose some of your energy. Don't need to restore it. Perform the ritual. I think we're going to go for this one. What is this? That's our... Yeah, I mean, we've only got 3 as it is. So we're just going to go with that. You're woken up by the sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. So we've only got one of that left. We've got no nourishment. We've got full mana. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. You go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Thule is the first one to address you. Draven. She greets you with a nod. We used the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple of more hours. Traveller or an undead? The latter. A young one. She attacked Ramona to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. She lacked. Did I just say attacked? She lacked in Yuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'll be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours, and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most knights hesitate to do so. Okay, time to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Astarion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent, normally preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes. So use the toggle button to see the map. Okay. Takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then get in the saddle. The palfrey and knickers ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north of here. Right, let's head north. Travel forward to continue the journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia to return to Hovland. Okay. We have a map key. Show map key. Okay. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travellers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes, and mirrors the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat and colours, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Did I do a quick save? Yeah. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travellers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do and time may be of the essence. Okay. We can cast spells. Okay. Take your axe and hurry the horse. If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. Stay here, better safe than sorry. So what sort of spells can I cast? Okay. So we could shape a missile of light to frighten them off. It only costs 1. We could do that, couldn't we? You grab one of your oldest amulets, a pendant made of leather and a single dim pearl. The little sphere is covered by... Can I get rid of this character sheet? It's covered by cryptic engravings, but if there's any special meaning behind them, you were never able to find out what it could be. Holding the pearl between your fingers, you feel the pleasant, familiar warmth. The spell you are about to cast is not much more than a mere illusion, but you take a couple of breaths, trying to minimize any risk of failure. The pneuma leaves your shell, formed into a white ball that you barely comprehend. When it falls next to the griffins, for a couple of blinks it emits dazzling light. The animals squeak and snarl, fleeing in multiple directions at once. The road is now clear. Let's have a look at this character sheet, will we? Okay, that's her appearance. Okay, save properly now. Ride forward and enjoy the touch of your pendant. It cools down slowly. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song, how did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write. For folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east, blood there. As people say, danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. You look at your horse. Alright, we can give the horse a name. Does anybody want to name the horse? I have a name in my head. Hi, Luna. If anybody wants to give the horse a name, that's fine. You having a drink? We're just gonna call the horse Ed. See if he talks later on. Ed is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to make a turn. We needed to go northwest, didn't we? And then the inn should be over this way. There, look. Ed trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The birds' songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward, your palfrey enters a canter. The beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. That must be the inn. We have 5 minutes to adverts. I will have a quick break then as well. Give my voice a wee rest. Are you coming up? Come on in. Luna. Northam, you coming up? Have you come? We have to open it quietly or Gunnar will hear. Yeah. Gunner's got amazing hearing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this must be the inn. It's pretty nice artwork, isn't it? My name is Draven. I used to be a mage. Inns like this one fit the regions travelled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guided by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. Hello. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labour put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow-green and linen-grey. A woman in a yellow armour leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colours doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the... Where are you going? There's nothing up there. No. Oi. Back down you come. Before you fall down. You're gonna fall down? No. Oi. Back over here. Good girl. What's that? Is he in here, is he? Yeah, you come over here. Come over there. Oh, you switched the printer on. That's what you did. Oi. Luna's just switched my printer on. I should have unplugged that. It's just not stuff. I'm going to have my advert break now, because I've got a few other things to do now. I will be back in a few minutes. Hey, back again. We were here. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I haven't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass, eh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hovlevin. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with her male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkey-soled saddles. Say, traveller, how hard it is to ride a horse. We could do the playful one, couldn't we? You laugh. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. Easy to learn the basics, but it's tiring. How about giving it a try? No, let's just go for this one. You get off your horse and then imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from your back to your hips and thighs. In return, the guards tell you about that time when they had to carry their friend with bitten off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood. The woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you, but you don't get so noisy when you talk to the boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculpted on his face. She leads you under the roof, under which your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry. The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head toward the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yard. You open the door. If you're at an inn, in the morning you can spend the entire day on resting, okay. It's okay, so it's 1:45, I presume, or is it 13 hours before dusk? The locked windows make the air stuffy. The weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labour. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. Stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward, but just so you know, my pelt of the north doesn't belong to Hovloven. You can sleep on the floor if you wish to, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I'd need to check. Thanks for the drink. See, you know how to make friends with a Roadwarden. Happy to help as a Roadwarden. I'm more than capable of taking care of the entire cask if you need me to. Won't stay here for long. We could do that one. I guess we could just do this one. Hide our emotions. Can we quick save again? There we go. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Osteron then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see the healers of Towler's Dale. And they're more than resourceful. A Roadwarden is always going to find work here, in the north, though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no quests here this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For a brief moment, he meets guests. I read that as quests. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. Oh, I guess we could drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The ley and spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. It does, it changes it. It was when I got to the next sentence, I thought that didn't make sense. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is? There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflage in his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Theas, the mayor, about Glaucia, that bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumours about a raid in the north. If Glaucia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with him to get rid of our band. He looks at the nearby dragonbone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Let's try 3 coins, will we? He nods with a smile. What else do you need? Let's ask about the previous one. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Astra and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that he stole the coins and ran away? He looks at the window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Astra ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travellers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So let me know when once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. What was this one again? Appearance. I don't know how much coins we've got. How many coins do we have? 10. We'll try the last. Greenie! Welcome on in. It's a tree raid. Thank you for the raid, Greenie. How are you today? Hopefully we'll get a... You were playing more Nightingale. How did your Nightingale go? Greenie's another very... I was just same sort of streamer as me. Very easygoing, so good stream to watch. Nice relaxing stream. Hope you're doing fine. I'm just back after having a week off, so and I'm back into a game where I have to read a lot, so my voice is already going. How was Nightingale? I know you'll probably be heading off to your bed soon, so if you need to raid and run, that's fine. You did some exploring, crafting some new gear, playing with some of the new mechanics. I played that again a couple of weeks ago. I haven't been back onto it though. I do plan to play it more. What sort of new mechanics is it? It's like I haven't been, yeah, it's a great game. I was really enjoying it, but I've never gotten very far in it. Oh, teleport points. Ah. That'll make life a lot easier. Yeah, Nightingale's a very good game. I was actually... I found this command on my Firebot this week, which I didn't know about. That's not the right game. That's not the right game. This is not, that was not the correct link, it's that one. For anybody that's not seen Nightingale. I shall have to investigate then with that. Teleport points. Let me take a note for myself. I should really read the patch notes. Zephyr rings. Craft a couple of costs from a realm and you can jump from point to point. It's super useful if you're hunting creatures porting between spawn points. Yeah. That'll make life a lot easier. Oh, I should really play some more of that. I was experimenting yesterday with I play a lot of games off stream in the evenings and stuff. Nightingale would probably be one of them. I was trying out Discord's streaming, just if anybody wanted to watch. I might not necessarily be talking. I'm just sitting playing. I might be AFK off and on a lot, but I tried that out last night with X4 Foundations. So I don't know if anybody was watching, but I might do that more often. Yeah, Firebot did not do it. I wonder if you can put like a... Can we do it like this so it's only one word? With like quotes around it. No, it's not finding it. So how are you meant to find a game that's only got one word and another game beats it? I'm intrigued what this Nightingale Downs is now. I'm gonna have to load up the page. Adventure game, okay. Family friendly. You play as a deer. Okay. Okay. They've also created a special box called the Peppus box. Peeps. The Peeps box. That you create one in your home, then whilst you're out in another realm, create another one in that realm. Whenever you, whatever you put in the box appears in... Okay, so it's like... See, I'm going to go back to Minecraft now. It's like an ender chest. in Minecraft. That's good then. So you could leave stuff... Can you leave stuff in your box at home before you go out, like extra food and stuff? And you could get access to that while you're out and about. I presume it works both ways, so. That's what I used to do in Minecraft. I used to have an ender chest with lots of food and stuff that was always getting topped up, so when I was out and about I could take food out. I could plonk a chest down and another ender chest, and then I could take the food out of it whenever I wanted. Save some inventory space. But that's a good... They were always very handy, so I can imagine it'd be very handy in Nightingale. We're currently playing Roadwarden. Can I do this? This was another command I spotted. Yeah, there we go. This was a viewer choice from Veru. So we're just having a go of that this morning. Alnoth, you mined a few silver veins. You made an upgrade of the wolf cloak, frost nourish, silver shield, and a Draugr bow. First three are on the armor rack and the jogger boat is on the wall. You don't want to take all the fun. Hey, thanks for that, Alma. My time, I'm only off and on at points in the evening on Valheim. I never seem to get much done. So, but that's great. Thanks for that. I was going to make some armor racks to store some of my older armor on after seeing Mitral's armor racks. That was on my to-do list. There's many things on my to-do list. You found one, have you? That I could use. That would be helpful as well. I mean, I do have the wishbone, but not that I can remember how to use it. As I say, the mountains. The last time I played on our previous Valheim server, the mountains was the zone that made me rage quit the game. I don't often rage quit games, but I did at that point. That was when I was trying to. I think that was when I was trying to take down Modder as well. I really did not have a fun time that day. We were asking this innkeeper stuff. Should we... We're a wee bit hungry. I could maybe ask for some leftovers. Rage quit prevention. Well, I have to say the iron mace you made has just been brilliant. It does a lot of damage. It's got me out of a lot of scrapes, that mace. I've also found that because there's so many people playing on the server, I've got the one thing I have found myself doing now and again is very quickly logging off. If I'm about to die, I know it's bad. I think there's other people in the server. I'm just gonna let time pass a little while. I'll log back on again. Yeah, rage quit's bad. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very rare I do that. I don't. I try not to get myself worked up about things. It's not good for you. Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes, and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long curved claw, almost black. We're going to do that. I'm not going to be grumpy like this line would make me sound. I do like the isometric drawings. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've taken a screenshot of the inside of this building and the outside of the building, because I think this building would be a great building in Valheim to build. I think that's probably a good suggestion part, yeah. Yeah. I just found it very claustrophobic, so I couldn't see anything, and it just snowed the whole time I was there. So yeah, I should have just went back to my little base. I did have a little base built because it was right next to the little swamp that I'd set a base up for. So. Yeah, it was so hard to see anything, including the flying dragon things that come down at you. I did manage to shoot one down though. I heard it before I saw it, so. But yeah, having a coffee and just waiting out the weather sounds good. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not a problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes. Better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook, and protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Fine, I'll go right away. Yeah, I thought this looks like a... It's even got a Valheim cart outside, look. When I saw that, I thought, oh, I could build that in Valheim. It just looks as though it would fit in perfectly in Valheim. I like the little wooden huts outside and that. I see there's a ladder going up into the wall as well. That could be an outpost somewhere. I'll have to make that. That could be on the plains or somewhere like that. You're frightened only by a particular combination of events in Valheim. Mountains, night, and bad weather. And a wolf pack spawn, yeah. I mean, that's... I don't know, it's just... And it's so hard to climb the mountains as well. You're constantly running out of stamina and you're sliding down. You're trying to fight stuff and you accidentally get too close to the edge and you're sliding down. It's just not a nice place. I don't think I've ever been in the plains yet, because I could never get past the mountainside. I should have. Aslan's weather was worse. Could they not just merge the two and have it melted? They could just melt all the ice with the ash. You step outside. Ed is lazily looking around. At this hour, the armourer's workshop is closed. What did we need the well for? We could have cleaned up. I need to go outside and forage for berries. I'm going to have a look in the well. The recently renovated wooden roof covers the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying the cold drink he drew with a bucket, and tells you to use only as much water as is necessary. Need at least one piece of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. Okay. Okay, so we just step away. Right. Let's go outside. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a colour even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. Okay, let's head back. You've returned to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. We enter the inn. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. The innkeeper is sitting at the stove, cleaning a set of metal tools and ladles. So, you again. Need anything? Let's put the fruit on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I said, I really have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. I'm going to say thanks. My wife has just messaged, I think. She's back at her work today. Well, she was back yesterday, so. There. And how did that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. I've lost it. No, we can't do that. Well, let's give him the hook. He takes the tools from you and nods. Need anything else? We'll have a look at this purchasing thing in a wee bit. Let's go for this one. Didn't expect to find an inn of this size in a place such as this. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travellers, bad trade, the villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws and bones, we get what we need and more, both from the south and the north. He moves to the window and peeks outside. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armour, crossbows, lumber, spears, but another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Holvalon, and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. Spines find a purple skin monster. No, let's not do that. You might take that wrong. Let's do the inn's name. I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt. But in my city, it would be in bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap, had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least 2 words, empty barrel, a rose, and a helmet. Empress's smile. Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive, he chuckles. In my soul is still just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for, and what will make us reach our goals. I don't want to ask him that. Let's ask about the peninsula, since he's in a good mood. What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name. Unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glances at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay at the warm stove, behind a wall. Even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already. That the people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. We were going to be heading north. Let's try the west first. Well, there are hills nearby, then you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago. Nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it, and they say it's haunted, but who knows? Who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans as if there's nothing unusual about them. There's a small patch south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and mouflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the 8 Bale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I smiled politely. I only know a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements build in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby, in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me, White Marshes, set at the bogs. I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumours about that place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So 3 villages really. Howler's, the one near the monastery, what it was called, and Marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them they need you. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he could tell other travellers as well. He would tell. Let's try the eastern road since he's chatty. Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend the night there, and monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but you know. The eastern forests are wild, the roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. Good morning, Ver. How are you this fine day? Hope you're doing well. Did I forget to switch off? Hold on, that's... Has there been a wee echo in the background?
Yeah, be well.
No?
And be kind to each other.
Oh, that was... No, it's okay. I realised what... Okay. You're doing okay? How's Roadwarden treating you? It's taking my voice away, Ver. My voice is going. See, with having taken a week off and not speaking to a great deal, and and now I come back to this. Now I know Mitchell's pain, yeah. Oh, Tyranny, yeah, I have tried to play that a couple of times. Medorador, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Yeah, Tyranny is a game I have, and I've started to play it a couple of times. I really need to try and play it all the way through. Oh yes, look, we're doing okay. It's been quite intriguing though, the storyline and stuff. I have actually been enjoying it, and I like the artwork. We were actually just discussing this building here, the inn that we're at. It would be a great Valheim build, which I've taken screenshots of to try and reproduce on Valheim. I think it would fit in very well somewhere. So yeah, no, I am enjoying it. So it's very different to anything I normally play. So I would have probably stayed away from it myself because of all the text, but it's because it's an interesting story. It's good. I can't remember how I got this game because I don't remember buying it. Maybe it was a humble game, or it was free. Yeah, it's not fully RPG. Yeah, it's always nice to get to try things that you would normally not try. Where was that? Was I on this top bit? I think one day all these rows. Yeah. Oh, my wife's messaging. There we go. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads. Right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. He looks towards the closed window, then at you again. Kinda like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit. Idokia. I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have a decent coin, you won't find much there. So back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects to the tower and the monastery, a shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. Its relative belongs to the beasts. Let's find out about this northern coast. I only know about another inn. It's far from here. Maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to the villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. Okay. This one. We're asking about Glockia's band. He freezes, observing your hands silently. He wants me to get the answer from the mayor of Howler's Dell. Yeah, I'm on it. Any rumours? He crosses his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. Who are you wondering about? Oh. What was her name? Was it Talia? Oh no, I have to write names in. Don't know them. No, I know you probably wouldn't because I've forgotten. I don't want in there. People. Tulia. Is that not what I wrote? Tulia, maybe. Asteron. Let's ask about Tulia. I'm sure that was what I spelled. Wasn't it? Oh yeah, here we go. I ain't seen Tulia in quite some time. Since her squad vanished in the fog, she's been careful. Glad to know she's still alive. She's too inexperienced to lead others to battle, I think. He shrugs. Like most people, she needs to follow orders, but she already knows that. There's nothing worse than a fighter too stupid to limit their ambitions. Let's see what... I don't think we've got anything we could sell. Oh, we do. We had a few things, didn't we? Hold on. We could try... Different traders are interested in different goods. They will purchase only some of the things you have to sell, and their offers may vary. You pull out some items, but the innkeeper shakes his head. I don't need those, nor could I sell them to anyone. I'd rather make coins than waste them, so bring me something of value. I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. This buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot. Just as nice for a wall. An almost untouched bowl of soup. Soup? Well, it said bowl. I automatically read that as soup, but it's soap. Okay. An almost untouched bowl of soap. Priceless for a traveller. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash, strong. Though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armour to spare, but if you pay well you can take one of my crossbows, and a bunch of quarrels. A yew-bow, wool cords, and the trigger needs just a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, mind, but I'm going to give you a discount to a helpful ally. Alright. How much money do we have? 10. Well, we can't buy the crossbow anyway. I'm just wondering if we should pick up some... We should probably burn skin on longer contact. Is it really soap? I don't think it's soap. That was our food rations, wasn't it? I think we've got 10 coins. I think we should buy that because our appearance is pretty crap. Might be high lie content, so high lie flammable. That's why it burns if left on for too long, yeah. I mean, I'm used to making soap on Dwarf Fortress, so I mean, I know there's I knew what was in it, but it's just yeah. How do we buy things then? I want to. Oh, I have to click on here. Right. We can't afford the fur. Don't eat soap. Not taste good. No. Not even if it's in an aero bar with all its bubbles. I think we should definitely buy one of them. But I think we should buy more food. That's three meals. We've got enough for 6 meals. I can only buy one a day. Okay. Well, I guess that'll just have to do. Right. That's all I need, I guess. You step outside. Ed is looking around. Ed is our horse, by the way. You hear the clinking of tools coming from the armourer's workshop. I should talk to the armourer, shouldn't I? Oh, I should go clean myself. I should have done that first. You walk past the well and find a small open shed. Not unlike the stable, with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives and other tools. So is that round the back? See, that's obviously round the back. See, I'm going to take another screenshot. Because it's describing what's round the back there. For when I build this on Valheim. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long, yellow tunic, bare legs and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. I guess we say greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is that you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. Learning the trade? Let's be friendly to start with. Kinda. He answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yeah, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. The man nods. Could you patch my clothes, maybe? He shakes his head and points at the uneven seams on his own tunic, then grabs a crude bow needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, says the boy, but you can try in Howler's Dale or Gale Rocks. Let's see what services they have. He nods, points at the laces in the front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulders, then gently spreads and lowers them, as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out one dragon bone, shrugs, then another one and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. Consider his offer. So I could get that up a bit and pay 1 coin. I should just do that, shouldn't I? Your jacket's as good as this armor can make it. Fine. Could use some adjustments. He nods enthusiastically, but then apologetically points behind him at a small box filled with basic tools. He ain't that experienced, says his assistant. We do this and that, but only the simple things. We've got 5 minutes till adverts. I need to go to the well. I need to wash stuff. We've read that before. I need 3 pieces of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. Okay. Let's wash the shell. There. Splashing yourself with cold water from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin, or mud stains from your clothes. Right. Will I go into the inn? No. Let's go talk to the guards. The woman in yellow armour is kneeling next to a brown, hairy boar which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forests. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush with grateful grunting and rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well, and you have no doubts that its charge would leave Ed dead in a breath. When the woman notices you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, the new Roadwarden. She points at a window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch of time on her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots and fruitlessly sniffing her for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats it back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time and we can talk a bit about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins or lose one. She winks. We could play dice or throw axes at a target. Did we have an axe on us? We did. I wonder if I did that, if it would improve. If I'd get any... Let's do the axe throwing. Your arrival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. The guards prepare a couple of wooden planks, which are leaned against the wall. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or off duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players, his face is deadly serious. There's going to be 4 participants in 8 rounds. You aim at the target drawn with charcoal. The person whose axe lands the closest to the centre of the circle gets a point. Axes that fail to stay in the plank don't count. The person who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes the winner. You blend in with the group. You talk a lot, but also don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Ed and Tuluia's camp are also brought up, but when you ask about the roads or the locals, their stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a pure beer made from the leftovers after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything, the boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't expect to be that lucky every time. Hey, cousin man. Good morning. How are you doing? Hope you're fine. So presumably this is random since we're going to be at the roll of a dice. After a long series of misses, you finish with 1 point. The second last place. You give the gasping winner your dragon bone. Cheers, he says, but he doesn't make a big deal out of it. The light-hearted comments of the other losers lighten up the mood, and the guard in yellow armour approaches you with a smile. We have adverts. Already played. Let's do this one. Have you ever been at the heart of the woods? We sometimes hunt south from here. There are good hunting grounds in the western half. The second one is too overgrown, maybe the soil is different. She shrugs, then moves the hair away from her forehead. But it's a risky spot. There are treants there, and wolves, even the furthest ones. And if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. There ain't many archers in the trees. She smiles as if it's a joke. But there are all too many worms, even larger than a water leech. Foraging for berries? She chuckles. So I've heard. Don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he won't ask you for a dragon for a meal. He gives small jobs to people all the time, just to see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud for their own good. About yourself? Oh, what was that? After a brief giggle, her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden. We use names and stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. Not much to tell, honestly. There are many beasts around, both wild game and dangerous monsters. We spend our time surrounded by these walls, leaving only to hunt, forage, or trade. We'll just work our way down. Like in Hovland, fair, but it ain't here to protect the gate. The stronghold was built long before we moved in and not to fight off humans. The tower was meant to be used by those who observe the deep forest. We look out for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking to roost on the roof. Baldy. She nods towards a man who, indeed, is completely bald, has a great eye, and sees well even in darkness. So it's like a lookout tower, that. Okay. Keep a track of that as well. Here, everything lives here. She flips her hair. I swear, we saw a few dragons, a unicorn family, a battle between trolls and goblins, faced 2 beastmen, oh, and a gargoyle, and the hunting queen shouts all the time. I could tell you all about them, but I won't. She winks and pats the boar on its head. You know, hunters have their secrets. Sue Warkal, welcome to the channel. My beard is very beard. Thank you for that. It is actually a lot shorter than when I used to stream. I had my beard was quite long. It was way down to about here, and I used to have beard beads in for when I was playing Dwarf Fortress. But that's a few years back now. You're not familiar with this game, Kazanan? It's yeah, it was Vow chose it. It's a bit, it's what does it say? It's Roadwarden. It's sort of, it is a bit of RPG. Mainly, it's all text based. It's a lot of reading, a lot of choices to make, but so far very good. So yeah, and it's on sale. So yeah, it's very different to anything I've played before. It's killing my voice, cousin. It's killing. My voice is just going. It's my beer's impressive. Well, thank you, Sawarkle. Yeah, if you're going to play this game, cousin, then don't stream it. Or you'll lose your voice. Your group seems to be quite attached to the boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, but it steps away and squeals as if someone's murdering it. It came with us from the city just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works too, cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. You've never been one for narrating, Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff round about me for drinking. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly, kinda like ibexes, so it's not such a wild, dangerous beast. But we don't let it get close to the other animals, or children. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge in a pear tree, a squirrel or a rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers, aurochs are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at the strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks up again. And we look for furs, of course. What can we find in the north? I'm sorry, we don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home. Only sometimes move south or west, to Howler's Dell, but only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need, since they can take them wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never even seen a beach. And I've been living here for how many? More than 10 years now. She giggles. The only part of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is placed on the hill. I've never put a toe in the salt water. She looks towards another huntress who confirms that her experience is the same. It's like a bedtime story, yeah. Yeah, read us some Roadwarden. But old Pagos is a good place. As long as you don't mock their order and act nice, they'll also be kind. Boss says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Have you heard anything about the necromancers? It's something new. Her voice lowers to a whisper. We've never been to White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from there south. They told us that the place has changed too much. A priest died, I think, and the new one awakens the dead. Sorry, Roadwarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. Thanks. She observes you with a hand casually resting on her hip. Let's ask for knowledge. Well, I told you her knowledge is valuable. I don't know. She looks at the boar, which seems to be obsessed with a clump of grass growing next to the wall. 15 dragons, no less. Not a chance. We don't even have that. We only wanted to know about one monster, not 15 of them. She observes you with a hand casually. Well, it's the same as before. Alright, that's all. We will walk away. Right. I guess we're going to be travelling then. We're not very well vested. I could eat up. Eat a food ration to increase your nourishment by 2. We should do that. It's much easier to overcome physical struggles. Okay. That's that full up. We still don't look very clean. We probably shouldn't be travelling at night, should we? Should we wait till the following day? Let's wait too. No, let's head on out. Let's travel. We're going to go this way. Okay, that shows you everything that is at these places. Okay, the road uphill meanders, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention not only to the shadows of the trees but also to the tight, rocky pastures. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. Keep an eye out for any sign of life. A ruined village. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs, their fluttering, singing and squawking as free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sound of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. I wanted to go over to the river. Let's do this. The broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. The smell is awful, and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by the scavengers. Okay, let's head for the gate. Do a quick save. The palisade is in good shape, and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. Probably a troll. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would be... Blech. Can I start that again? The amount of Used force must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see any marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. Where do we want to go? Let's inspect the fields. You're surrounded by what looks like a field ploughed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rains as snow falls. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green layer. A barren field. Maybe it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into a meadow then a forest. In the north you see a path leading around the palisade. We don't have... we could probably do that. You unpack the wooden spheres, pleasantly smooth and light. The entire set fits in the palm of your hand. You place them in various spots, marking their positions by sticking a branch in the soil. All you can do now is wait, so you brush Ed for a bit to make sure the saddle doesn't bother it. When you return to gather your amulets, all of them are much warmer than your skin. The entire field is corrupted, so seeing how there are already some plants growing from it, the spell is fading away. The curse is most likely as old as the last harvest. Okay, so that was a bit of a waste. And we're not hungry. We've eaten our food. We don't need any more food just now. Let's explore the village. The buildings, some of which have collapsed, are made of wood, now charred and rotten. You spot claw marks on the walls, especially close to the doors and window frames. They could belong to a dragonling or a larger wolf, larger than the grey ones, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess. Yet no beast remains in sight. You find the remains of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to be of use, a basket-like fish trap made of vines and willow branches. If a large fish swims into it, it won't be able to get out on its own. It's quite large, but I can fit it on my saddle. The closer you are to the village, and the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric juices hits your mouth, your forehead hurts, and you start to stumble. Ed, worried by the sight, pokes your head with its nose. After remain strong. After another few steps you return your last meal. You spend a minute or so. Oh no, we've thrown out all our food up. After a minute you lean forward, gathering your breath, and wipe your mouth. You feel better. Let's go to the main square. In every village, the main square is the fanciest area, meant to charm the travellers. Yet this is way more than you expected. The houses are as big as in Hovland, and the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls, now charred and riddled with holes, are made of an expensive coated wattle. The tiles for the roofs also had to be brought here from a different settlement. You peek inside the three smaller buildings, the rotten remains of their former splendour. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't find even a single dragon bone, nor a tool or a piece of furniture left unbroken or unrotten. You're surrounded by bad smells, dirt, animal droppings and garbage. The well also stinks. It has no bucket, but you'd be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside, or how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly, you hear some sounds coming from the largest building. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Can I not eat? I need to eat. I can't use my inventory right now. Oh no. I'm expecting a delivery, and there's a big delivery van just arrived outside, so this could be mine. I've ordered roofing for the catio. Oh, it's Argos. I'm not expecting stuff from Argos. No. Who's ordered stuff from Argos? I'm expecting this roofing. It was meant to be here yesterday, but it never showed up. I got more wood last week arrived for more platforms in the catio, but I was wanting to put a corrugated plastic roofing over the top of the whole of the catio to keep the rain out. So we can't use that, okay? We'll have to prepare our axe. You step cautiously towards the scent of urine and sweat. The flickering candlelight shows your broken furniture, yet no signs of burnt wood. You consider pulling the other door when a masculine voice proves that your presence is not unnoticed. I didn't want it to come to this, but stay where you are. Whatever you put inside, be it a sure hand or your damn thinker, it'll get a bolt. Should we just say we're a Roadwarden? New Roadwarden. Let's just go with this one. Relax, stranger. And you choose this place to visit from all that there are. Even outlaws don't come here. He pauses, then goes on before you respond. It may be you're telling the truth, so let's say this. My little ballista here is all pulled and ready, but you won't do anything stupid, right? No running, no jumping around. Show your hands. The man's voice lacks confidence. I was supposed to put in the wrong accent. His accent is tricky for you. He could be from the distant south, but as long as you don't speak too quickly, you understand one another. You don't hear any other movements, breathing, voices. You lean your axe against the door frame and make sure that your knife is well hidden. We walk inside. The dense smell of urine hits you with full force, while the tools and utensils are hard to distinguish from the rubbish. The route to the upper floor is blocked by the collapsed roof and loose wooden beams. There are scraps of rusting iron and steel on the ground, detached from the now destroyed barrels. The scavenger is sitting on a blanket in front of the tent, pointing at the floor with his loaded crossbow. Not a short man, though a bit skinny. He's tan, dark-haired, and has seen his share of struggles. There are long scars on his left cheek, and another one that would divide his eyebrow in half if it hadn't been consumed by a fire, just like the rest of his forehead. His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot, in a dirty linen shirt with rolled-up sleeves and simple pants that use a cord for a belt. His long beard and hair are untrimmed and tangled. Let's just do this one. Sit on the floor, raised hands, not a threat. You wipe the dust off the steps, but before you sit down you hear the man's annoyed voice. Now, don't get too homey. It's the only place here that's not just ashes and debris, and I'm not sharing it. You better ride ahead. I already piled up whatever hasn't run. The candle lights are dancing on his burnt face and arms. He moves his crossbow just enough to make sure he won't shoot you by accident. I saw you, horse. Maybe you could help me. What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from the north. I'm looking for another Roadwarden. Okay, that delivery wasn't for us. I've never met him, but surely heard his name many times. He vanished long before I got to the coast. At first people were asking about him, now they think he's dead. Listen. He scratches his thighs nervously. I'm hungry, so damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all the ape men around. Can you share anything, Roadster? I may be a drifter, but I wouldn't be big if I had not lost my bags on the road. You're here, but you're just doing things. That's okay. Do we give him some food? If we give him that. He lets out a relieved breath. I may even boil it. After a moment of hesitation, he grabs a cracker. Without ya, I would have to run after birds with my ballista, but I need to save the bolts for the apemen. And because of the stinkers, I can't roast here. And raw meat makes me want to puke. Thank you. After a couple of solid bites, he puts your gifts in 2 wooden bowls. Now, Roadster, he says with a full mouth. If you have questions, ask. I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. Ask him what he wants. Village makes you sick. We'll do that. Me too, in the guts and the thinker. Gets easier with time, if you're patient. Must be there, the smell of death and apeman piss. He pats his stomach while laughing. Any idea what happened here? Well, I won't guess, but I saw many ruins. There's no treasure and skeletons here, so this place means as much as dirt. Someone was barking too loud, so the beast broke through and made them quiet again. He clicks his tongue. And that's that. Talking about nature's fury brings back luck, don't you know? Bandits? Nah, I think they're in the north or east. I stuck to the western road and no shell bothered me. Sorry, I can't help you. Treasures? You came to the wrong place. Time, moisture, and the damn boars devoured all the loot. I've been here a couple of days now, and all that's left is this iron I carried here. I was planning to get back here with some hired muscle and clear the class buildings, but I doubt it's worth the time and risk. Tell me about yourself. He gives you a sullen glance. What for? I've no legacy to keep alive in tales. I may tell you this and that after you take me out of here. How to keep the goblins away? I got a trick or two to keep me safe. A little something that scares them away, even without magic. I'll tell you what. His smile turns into a wide grin. Help me get out of here and I'm going to share some of it with you. Let's ask him. Let me exclaim. Let me exclaim. Exclaim? That's the second time I said that there. Let me explain first, I was in Howler's Dell, the closest village to the east and north. People there are nice, you know. Not like an old Pegas. They're all born and grimmer than a crow. But they cry a coin for everything, and damn good coin. I left, wanted to look around the ruins, see if there's anything left. Then moved to Pelt and hired the hunters to help me there. No luck. A bunch of griffs jumped my pack bird. I just bought it. He spits on the floor. Fast and nimble, but not brave enough to listen to me when all that screeching and scratching started. So they ran away with my bags. A few fell on the ground, and I pulled them here, but you see how it is. I won't travel around with a tent on my back. He taps the crossbow with his fingers. I need maybe a day more, just a day, and I'll have all the iron scrapped from the barrels, so I can move forward, but I can't take all my stuff alone, and without me around, the ape men are going to break in and steal all my crap. I need to stay here, but since you got a horse, come back tomorrow and help me return to Howler's Dell. How about it? I just need to know that the road is safe. Safe as it can be, I mean. What exactly do you want me to do? I need you to make sure there's no danger hiding in the road. From here to Howler's, or rather, I know there is some danger, but as long as you can get there and safely return, I'm sure we can handle some Roman monsters. He theatrically rubs his hands together. This ballista has hit more beast skulls than I have fingers, and I've never lost a finger, Roadster. Only the toes. Maybe, to prove it, he starts to count on his fingers. So see if the road there is clear and then come here tomorrow. We'll pack my stuff on your horse and move out. But don't come when it's close to evening. We're going to need 3 hours on your feet. And I won't push through the night. Even sleeping next to an apeman tribe is safer, he chuckles. And don't make me wait for too long. I can wait for a couple of days if I find some food. But if you don't get back, I'll have to risk it no matter what. Why Howler's Dell? If you want to go south, we should travel to Pelt of the North. I mean, I see your point, but I've never been there. Can they afford my iron? Do they have means to pay for it? I need coins to find a handy bunch that will walk south with me. And I need a new staff and bolts. I know the village is a nice place, and even there's a smithy of sorts. I've had a chance to take a look around though. It's a large inn, a safe one. They seem to be rich and have enough hunters to guide you south. You can use iron to barter. Well, it's a shorter path, I guess. Fewer spots to get surrounded by corpses. If you're sure it's the best option, fine. I'll trust a roaster's judgment. I don't work for free. I have ways to pay you, don't you worry. I can give you dragons, but I'll have to sell iron first, so I'll need a bit of time, you see. 5 for a short skirt would be plenty, I'd say. But if you want, I'll give you a secret jar of mine. A very fine mixture that scares Apemen away. Works on pebblers too. When you ask if all the stench of urine is somehow related to this potion, he just winks and chuckles. Also like to learn more about the villages. He seems surprised. I mean, aye, sure. But I don't have connections there. You know, just my eyes. He starts to hum. You know. A longer pause. When you get to Howlers, you'll meet the mayor there for sure. Thias. And whatever you do, don't ask her where she got her coins from, aye? She's rich, stupid rich. But don't ask her how this happened, trust me. He scratches his beard with a mournful look. Okay, we'll escort him. Thanks, Roaster. Just come tomorrow. I'll make it worth your time. Okie doke. Let's have a look in the northern gate. The paths here have almost been reclaimed by grasses. To your east and west you see shadowy alleys behind damaged buildings. Should we open the gate? Take a closer look at the gate. Pushed or pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. Have a look at the tree. Don't find anything worth picking. The half-dead quinces have maggots crawling under their skins. You wonder which part of this meal is more tempting for the dark-winged birds sitting among the branches, the flesh of the fruits or of the worms. Quinces are rarely eaten without having a chance to blet. What does blet mean? You can safely guess that they were meant to be dried or to add taste to cookies or hard drinks. What is blet? A taste of softness or decay in certain fruits, such as the medlar brought about by over-ripening. Never heard of that. It's a borrowed word from the French. Yeah, word of the day. Okay. So I presume it's probably like when like bananas go a bit black on the outside as well. Over ripened. There we go. We learn something every day. After a few moments, you realise that the bottom part of the tree, just above the ground, is partially charred. Someone must have posed. Someone must have posed a torch here, but the wet wood didn't burst into flames. Can we have another word of the day? To place something next to or close to something else. I've never heard that word be used. So leaning something up against something else is to oppose it. Okay. Do we dare look into the well? Yeah, let's have a look into the well. It's filled up with soil. You suggested this game to expand my vocabulary. I'll have a word with you after this video. It's filled up with soil and you find nothing interesting about the area around it. I want to open the gate. It's not going to open. You should take a look at the other side to be sure it's even possible, especially since it may take a couple of hours without proper tools. Several words, yes, all new. Alright, we need to head round the outside if we can. Let's go to the palisade on the west. Oh, I can hear Luna coming in. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. The wooden stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses in the north surround dozens of tree stumps, already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you'll reach a large field, though you don't see any crops. Yeah, we shouldn't do that. Let's go northeast. The debris was partially moved outside of the destroyed houses, but you find nothing of value. The table, cupboards, shelves and bits and pieces were carefully ransacked. The wildly growing vegetables and herbs are the only remnants of the abandoned gardens. You spot fresh human footprints at the entrance to the latrine, most of which lead to and from the centre of the village. You notice a set of simple tools they've put the word leaned. It should have been opposed. You notice a set of simple tools opposed against a pile of rubble. A wooden spade and a shovel, a pointed stick, a hoe with a bonehead, a stone axe. All of them are too old and too awkward to bother with transporting them around, but you'll know where to find them if you need them in future. Good to know. The closer you are to the village and the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric. Yeah, that's why we shouldn't be staying here. Let's walk far away from the walls. Leaning on your mount, you go outside, keeping your mouth shut. After a few minutes, your eyes get clearer. It may be better to leave, or at least to stay away from the village for the rest of the day. Okay. So we could travel. We should probably eat something. We don't have much food left. We are going to travel. Oh, I didn't want to go that way. Maybe we should just go back here and stay for the night. Hello. The guard ignores your arrival. As you ride in, the other hunters splitting firewood and weeding the garden patches. You hear the clinking of tools coming from the armourer's workshop. Right, we're going to try and stay here for the... We're halfway through the day. We've got no food, we need to buy some food. Let's... I can't do that, I have to stay. Can we not just stay for the night? Oh, hold on. Enter the inn. Can we ask about That guy, did we get his name? I don't think we got his name, did we? It's called Scavenger. We could ask about Thias. People say she's a good mare, but she's rich from birth, so also careless. She doesn't know the struggle, the hunger and dirt, so fancies her clothes more than one should. She thinks she keeps her village safe even though it's the druids who do all the work. He looks down but finally speaks again. She may be frivolous, but isn't stupid. If you're smart, better keep your eyes open. Okay. Or we can wait. Can we sort of wait until evening? Can we just go to sleep now? Costs 1. We should do that. We do have money. You hear a thunderous roar. You rise to your feet and rub the sleep from your eyes. The doors are opening. People are shouting orders and words of warning. As you open the window, you see what's behind the commotion. Something is on the other side of the wall, trying to get through, and the guards are fighting it off with their torches, spears, and crossbows. Thanks to their light, you see the large, furry paws placed on top of the wall walk. As far as you can tell, the beast is but a single leap away from getting inside. I think we should help them. You look for your gambeson and blade, still a bit foggy in your thoughts, and once you find them you struggle to get inside the jacket. As your habits kick in, you see the innkeeper right in front of you holding a candle. "You're a guest, stay here," he says without a shadow of hesitation. "My team has no time to worry about outsiders." Just after his words you hear cheerful laughter from the wall. Judging by the way they point their fingers and lower their weapons, the beast is fleeing. Just go for this top one. Don't need to catch it, do we? The room is small. Sorry, the small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window and enjoy the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast, a decent stew with white bread to dip. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood into the stove. He asks if you need anything. I'm going to do the leftovers. Not today, okay. In case he had a job for me to do. Let me buy a set of rations. I don't know where I'm going to get more money from. Because I don't have anything. Wait, let's should we go to the well? No. Right, let's go and travel back to here. The village remains dead. The sound of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. We need to go into the scavengers' camp. The entrance to the scavengers' hideout is open. You see scraps of metal organised in piles, while the old furniture has been dismantled into loose planks and then pushed into corners. "Aye, was there?" The man looks tired and his beard is sticky, but he smiles at you. "If you're ready, I'll start packing the tent. If you don't want to wait, start putting iron on your mount. It will be quicker. Just say the word and we can leave. Time to head for Pelt. We could give him some food, but I don't have much. But he's going to pay us, isn't he? He said he was going to pay us. So really, we should give him some food. I'm ashamed to accept it, he answers, but takes your gift before you end your last word. He puts it in a bowl and licks his lips. Now I can stay here for at least a day more without risking a hunt or wasting my bolts, but they can't last much longer, sure can't. Right, let's head off. The scavenger keeps asking you to watch out for beasts and wraps the sharper scraps of iron in his cape. Folding the tent and putting it on your horse takes a while, and neither of you can sit down on the large pile of sacks and bundles. There's a long walk ahead of you, but for Ed, it won't be much of a burden. Once you clear the room, you walk away. At first you hear only the birds and horseshoes, then the man starts to whisper. Faster, the apes are looking at us. You don't see any proof of that. Nothing we can do about it. Lead us to the southern gate. You move forward, slowed down by having to secure the bundles on Ed's back and carry your own bags. After half an hour, the man asks for a break. Even though you shared your food with him, he's not fully recovered from days of hunger. But the further away you get from the ruins, the more cheerful and talkative he gets, mostly speaking about what he needs to buy and how much he hated the damn place. Then the beasts showed up. No. A loud bunch of griffins blocks the road near a pond. For you, their colourful furs and feathers don't look much different than the pack you faced in the valley days ago. There's still some distance between you and them, but they could be crossed in less than a minute. There's maybe 20 beasts in sight, and this time they pay you much more attention. They spread their wings and start to screech, some making a few leaps forward. Your mount is too overloaded for you to turn away and get out of their range. Better to hold our ground, groans the scavenger, preparing his crossbow and dagger. He's not going to kill many with his crossbow, is he, before they get to us? What happens if we run... They didn't like the light spell. Let's charge at them. He hesitates, then purses his lips at you through his beard. Fine, yeah, that road's to here. We do our best to start one of them, hoping the others will also be affected. We run between the creatures, trying to wound some of them, but keeping our distance. Let's try the start then. You run at the nearest beast, besettling it with your loud screams, and while it runs away, others are so close they would have to fall over to stop. One of the griffins simply leaps at you and the others follow. For the next minute you slice and dice whatever you can hit, filling the air with screeches and feathers. The sheer number of opponents overwhelms you more than once, and it's difficult to keep pushing them away with your free hand. As you peek towards the scavenger, you see he's doing fairly well, jumping away whenever he lands a hit, but the short blade holds him back. You see blood coming from a few cuts through his clothes. Finally, it all ends, though not because of a lack of opponents. The two creatures you butchered are on the ground, but the others, some of them hurt, have enough strength to run away. The will is broken, yet the pack will go on, at least for some time. Your fine gambusman keeps you in one piece, and is still in decent shape. The man spits on the ground. May apes and ibexes bang this place day after day. He leans forward, taking a few deep breaths, then looks at you. Roadster, we're a fine team, you and I. He laughs briefly. Let me draw my ballista and we can move forward. We'll just do the first one. Smile and ease Ed's thoughts. The man's sleeve and stomach are soaked with blood, but he tells you to ignore it. Once you get close to Pelt, he whistles enthusiastically. You weren't kidding, what a fortress. The guards open the gate and take care of the scavenger's bundles, which Ed welcomes with a nicker. The man introduces himself quickly and asks to be brought some water from the well. Thank you, Esther. I need to ask the innkeeper if he has any soap. I'm not going to chop off my damn arm. He clicks with his tongue. Well, like I told you, if you want your coins, you have to come back tomorrow when my pouch gets heavier. But I can, and would prefer to give you the potion that repels Apeman instead. It's useful, but not as much in the south as it is in here in the woods. Well, we just take the jar. Ha, I'm glad. He unpacks the large jar made of clay. I'm not gonna lie, Worcester. It's pure troll urine. He chuckles. Don't ask me how I got it. If you want to scare off some ape men, use it before they see you. Trolls eat them all the time, so they stay away for as long as they can. You imagine that you can feel warmth from the jar. Well, I won't miss it. I'll be here for at least a couple of days. You'll find me around if you need me. After all my recent camping, I'm going to spend a few hours kissing in this nice, strong wall. He starts to laugh and walks away, waving goodbye. I pack the jar and make sure it won't spill in my bag. Right, I guess we're going to travel. But I don't know if I can go any further there. I would have thought I could. Let's go here and try and get further. Let's go here. You pass the area where you and the scavenger encountered griffins, but the only thing left of them is a few puddles of blood. The village remains dead. Should we go to the clearing? The meadow is lush and colourful and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple of minutes you lead Ed with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north the clearing turns into wild forest. In the east you see a road leading north. So we should head to the east then. Go to the road. You're at the closed... I can't do that. Northwest part. The colourful grass covers the entire fenced pasture. The large stone placed in the middle suggests it could be a playground for ibexes, or maybe it's just an old garden. You see a couple of small sheds, a latrine and a single building to the south, completely burnt down. All of the places were cleaned out by scavengers. Ed doesn't want to approach the large ruins in the north. The terrible stench of feces and rotten food scares you off as well. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. If the beasts were active, they would try to scare you off or to hunt down your mount. This is their territory, and once they're awake, you will face a furious enemy. I guess we come down here then. You find a small backyard. The ground is beaten, the grass grows only right next to the buildings. It would have been a fair spot for training dancers and fighters. The stakes of the palisade are covered with playful carvings, left by children who were portraying monsters, weapons and humans. The rubble has been pushed into the corners of the houses. The furniture was broken, but you find something of use in one of the piles, a slightly rusty piece of steel. Once you pull it out, you realise it's a quarrel for a crossbow, still usable. Won't be difficult to find a use for it. Did we not head for the river before? Let's go for the pasture. You won't find a single sign of livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river. On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenceless animals could get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find the cuts in the spots that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks that you could follow. Guess it's the river. You see a quenching family of boars, some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay you little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river is not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. The water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life, completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realise there's something else buried among the kelp. A rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes and hoes. The wooden handles in a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognise their shapes. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. Oh yeah, I could set up the fish trap. You've placed the basket on the ground, then grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. We've got 5 minutes till adverts. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket, locking it between the sides, then cover the entrance with the lid. Tying it together takes a few good moments, but will be easier later on. You attach the entire trap to a bush and push it into the stream far enough that it sinks entirely. Who knows how long it will take before something large enough swims inside, but it would be better to not wait for too long, otherwise the prey may die of hunger. Step away. We have Baron. Well, we had Baron, he's just come over into my desk. Consider washing. The living stream filled with fish and plants wouldn't help you much. Okay. I want to open the gate. How do I do that? May take quite a bit of time, but with the wooden and bone tools you find in one of the buildings, you'll speed up your endeavour. Okay. You take off your cloak and put away your bags and satchels, while Ed grazes gladly in the meadow. After looking at the pile of dirt, you let out a sigh. You start with the larger rocks, removing the ground around them and push them into a single pile. Then you do the same on the other side. The simple shovel and pitchfork help you a lot, and once you get used to them, the work goes smoothly. You're done before you get too tired. From now on, passing through this place will take you less time. We need to walk away. Okay, so we need to go away somewhere. We can go this way now, can we? You enter the wetlands. Oh, we've got crickets. You enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds and fish. Large birds run and fly between the grey, sparse trees that are covered with moss, mushrooms and critters. For human, it may be an unwelcome and harsh realm, but the overwhelming swarms of insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The danger with teeth and claws is hidden below the water's surface. okay? Stay away from the banks. They'll keep all your money. This plant shouldn't be alive. Not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees of the wetlands. It is something else. You get off your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water's surface. You don't see any saurians in the grasses or on the shore. You approach the table-like altar made of 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formless as they are now? Or was there a point in time, centuries ago, when they were precisely shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Ed is peacefully observing the dark grass and slapping flies with his tail. Whatever it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees this place through very different eyes. I smile and scratch the bottom of his neck. Go ahead, I'll look around for just a moment. Let's approach the altar. There's clumped dirt and uneven nicks, fused by years of winds and rain. The bottom surface of the table is dusty, but you don't find any spider webs or mold, even though it's a perfect spot for them. The tree roots cling to the altar in many spots. They're firmly attached. You struggle to move them even by an inch. The cream-coloured limestone is cold and smooth. What can I make? Can I do that? Anything? Do I want to do that? I've got full mana, so I may as well. You place them in various spots on the altar next to the roots beneath it, and a few steps away on the boulder. You begin the ritual, after which all you can do is wait. You go for a walk with Ed, making sure there's no monsters in your vicinity. When you return to collect your amulets, only the one placed on the rock hasn't changed its temperature. The others are cold. The closer they are to the tree roots, the cooler they are, almost painfully so. There's my adverts. I will go get some more things to drink and a quick bio break, and I will be right back. Hey, back again. So many birds. How's that one? There's birdies chirping and crows cawing. I forgot. I needed to go take bread up out the freezer. I'd forgotten. Hence a slight delay there. Thank you. I've topped up my fluids. Where were we? I'll just read the whole lot. Oh no, I'd read this bit. Yeah, this is not what was supposed to happen. If the objects are filled with magic, the spheres get warmer. If not, they stay in their original state. But this, you've never seen such a reaction. Should we try something else? The cream-coloured limestone is cold and smooth. The tree is perfectly still and hasn't changed a bit since the first time you saw it. What can we offer? What do I have? What do I have? Alright, so it's set. It's okay. A rope travel set. Should I put food rations down? Thread, knife, blade. Will I just put some rations down? You place any type of food you can find in your sacks or on the nearby plants, but none of them seem to make any difference. Okay. What will we try? We'll just walk away. We'll have to put a fish down. Something like that. Look into the water. You step cautiously, without knowing how deep it gets. You have to consider that a saurian could be camouflaged in the mud, waiting for a victim to get near. Since you don't plan to kneel down and drink, you're hoping to dodge a potential strike. Once you get closer, you start breathing again. While the water is dirty, it's also shallow. You see the vegetation, swimming insects, and even small fish. All of them stay away from the tree roots, which look like a spider web covering the bottom of the pond. Aside from that, you don't see anything that could catch your attention. That would catch your attention. Should we stare at the roots? Maybe we'll find the root of the problem. You kneel in front of one that's lying on the shore. It's brown, covered with hair that resembles that of your arm. When you touch it, it's moist, soft, and warmer than you'd expect. Do something with it. Pool. The root doesn't resist your touch, and you can easily bend it. You hold it tightly and your hands sink into it like a soft pillow. You feel its warmth. Is that really true roots? Is it not some big octopus or something? You start to pull, but with little to no effort. No matter how much strength you put into it, it's firmly held by something in the water. Probably covered by the swamp's floor. Stab. You pull out your knife and stop in place. You can't tell what the results of wounding the tree would be. Cut it. The cut is swift, but the nimble root is difficult to hold. It backs down into the water, pulled by the rest of the creature, leaving trail of red bubbles and mud. The water quiets down a few minutes later. A chunk of the root is still in your fingers, so you move it into the jar from your bundles. Your hand is now covered with a red, sticky goo, smelling like rusty nails and sweet fruits mixed with beer. You reach for a water skin and wash the plant's juices from your skin. Oh no, we're all dirty again. Let's go to the altar, make an offering of the lump. Well, I don't know what it is. There. Weird root. Let's do the root. Why not? Oh. I thought I would have been able to do that. We don't have anything else. Wood and flesh, covered with hair. Twitches on its own. Okay. Oh, my lucky button. Can I put that down? Hold on. Lucky button. Oh. Button. No. So we can heal wounds with that one. Wooden spheres. Can I put a wooden sphere down just out of interest? Okay. I want to walk away. Can I not go elsewhere? We really need to head north. You slow down. Among the shrubs, a small pack of dragonlins is feasting on the carcass of a grey orc. One of them, with red feathers on its arm, straightens up and gives you a curious glance.
This is funny.
Hey, Multi.
I feel like
How
at
are you
this point
today?
I can't die anymore. I'm
Oh,
like,
you've been trying
I have learned
Empyrean.
how to play this game, and I
How
am
are you
now
getting on with
perfect.
Empyrean?
just killed a guy with a bow. I
So I was just waiting. Multi picked that Empyrean as the game on the giveaway last 2 Saturdays ago. Gives you a curious glance. Its head tilts left and right, forward and back. It screeches at you but doesn't move forward and returns to its meal. You wonder what would happen if you were on foot. Would they let you be, satisfied with their prey, or would they run after you? But if so, for what reason? For now you have enough space to move forward yet stay safe. The powerful jaws break the monster's bones loudly, then bite off and swallow chunks of meat. Okay, let's ride forward. The beaten road serves your palfrey well. The forest to your left becomes sparse and brighter, and there are dozens of human-made paths among the fruit-bearing trees. On your right there's a large pasture with at least a dozen massive mouflons. 2 of them already sheared look comically small. Soon after that you ride alongside vast, flourishing fields filled with rye, still green, preparing itself patiently for the second harvest. You were disappointed at first. Found it unpolished. Yeah, they're constantly adding stuff to it and making things better. But you've got some custom scenarios, okay. Yeah, the tutorials and that weren't great in it. It did take a lot of... You had to be quite patient with it. But yeah, it's very open world. You can do whatever you like in it, really. The path ends with a massive wooden gate. The stone wall separating you from the glow of lights behind it isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing to its top. There are pretty much no cracks, no missing bricks, a sign of many hours of labour, especially considering how massive the settlement is, as wide as a city district. The birds and monkeys are now just a distant echo, replaced with sounds of carts running, hammers, saws, laughter and shouts. Yeah. It's very daunting. It's a very daunting game. It's there's a lot to it, really, and you do feel as though you haven't a clue what you're doing to start with. Let's just go see if that worked. This is not a good command, is it? It's not found any of the games I've tried so far. We'll try it without. That's not even the right game. Sorry, I'm just testing out this command. It's not great, is it? I wonder if I put underscores in or something. It was a built-in Firebot command, which that's not even the same thing. I just spotted that command the other day and thought, oh, I wonder if that's going to be any good, but no, it's not. Let's see what Vow gets. Oh no. No, you got Wee Survivors as well. It's just... It looks like it picks the last word, doesn't it? It doesn't bother with the rest. I wonder what happens if you join all the words up. Firebot goes into not responding every time we do one of those commands. That's not very good, is it? I'll probably I wonder if I can just disable that command since it doesn't work. It's a built-in one. Yeah, what is We Survivors? I'll have to have a look at this. It's a roguelike bullet hell. I wonder if they are a Scottish developer. Can't see anything about them. Very. Probably nobody uses it, Molly. I was going down a list of commands that it had and I found that. I'm going to disable it because it looks as Firebot's having issues with it anyway. It obviously takes too long. There, I've disabled it. This Firebot was going not responding. Obviously while it was waiting for a response back from Steam, but getting the wrong response anyway. Someone filed a report a while back to add the price, okay? It's just a pity it doesn't get the right game. Oh well. Maybe I can write my own one. Yeah, you're glad to know that Golden Showers will release eventually. Yeah. Oh, just out of interest, can I ask for a key for Golden Shower for We Survivors? No. Oh well. It'll be forever known as Golden Showers now. Better check that's what I typed. I didn't type in that. We read that, yeah. Does he like big places? No, I don't, so we're going with that option. A young man leaning against the closed gate, covered by its shadow. Sorry, is leaning against the closed gate. He's young, tanned, and has a short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gambeson he wears an expensive tunic decorated with colourful trim. From his arm hangs a steel helmet, though the metal is so thin that it's mostly made of wool and leather. So it's just for show. He moves into the light instead of the dark. Come to the dark side. Takes on the posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. He's standing upright with his chin up. There are two weapons on the ground. Well, they've only used that word once now that we've just learnt today, and they're not using it here either. They should say there are two weapons on the ground opposed to the wooden beams of the gate. Wait. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a big. It could be 33. It is, yeah. It's a big. I don't know. Centiliters. Yeah, it is. It's a pint one. It's a pint one. It's from Sweden. It used to have something on it. It used to have some sort of logo on there. But my wife took them over from Sweden. Yeah, very, very. My wife uses centiliters all the time. It always confuses me. Because we don't use that over here. She keeps saying centiliters and I have to think. So it's just not something we ever use here. It almost looked identical to the ones. Yeah, a bigger L. Yeah, I don't know. What does it say? Do we have it? Yeah, we would write 330 mil. Yeah. We would never use CL, man. Centiliters. Can I see more? Oh, it is a small c and a capital L. It should be. Yeah, they use ounces, yeah. I mean, I still use pounds and ounces a lot. Because that's what I was brought up with. I mean, if I'm buying milk, I still say, like, I want 2 pints of milk. I don't say I want 454 milliliters of milk, please? Or whatever it is. Yeah, we don't do metrics here. Anyway, just to give you a bit, show you how confusing it is over here. It's probably not like this now, but if you ever went to a lumber yard to get some wood to build anything with, you would say, I need 5 meters of 2x2 or 5x5. The 5x5 would be inches and the length would be in meters. Yeah, it's all very confusing, isn't it? Yeah, weight in stone. Yep. Yeah, we don't do kilograms for weight. How heavy are you? Oh, 10 stone something. It's very confusing with measurements over here. Although I would still do my height in feet and inches. Because I am about 5'11.5". Yeah. I'm almost 6 foot. Yeah, well, I show my age every day. Exactly. Got the grey hairs to prove it. Yeah. You're just about 5'9", I think. Okay. That's about the same height as my wife. Then she's about 5'9". Not that she'd say it in feet and inches, because she says it in meters, in centimeters. Your wife is about 5 foot. Is that 5 foot away about to give you a slap, or is it You like resting your chin on it? Okay, so you're quite a bit taller then, yeah. Oh. I can't remember where I was on this bit on this page. Oh, we were talking about opposing, weren't we? On the leaning on the, yeah, there we go. Opposing, sorry. The word we learnt today. You dismount smoothly instead of falling off your horse. Distraction complete. Yeah. That was it. Yeah, they keep changing the wording. They teach us a new word and then they never use it again. Ed holds its tail high. It was probably Ed that knocked us off the horse. Could they not have just said you got off your horse? A narrow path leads north towards two field workers, one with a hoe and one with a pitchfork. Sounds like that picture, the painting. They wave to you. You can't see their faces, but their clothes are simple. Grey pants and vests, made from hemp and wool. You wave back. No. Should we wave? Should we be nice and wave? You've just finished cooking some egg noodles. Oh, love egg noodles. We usually buy big boxes of egg noodles. We usually buy them in bulk because it's a lot cheaper. But I like egg noodles. I make quite a lot of stir fries. So yeah, do like egg noodles. Vera's away for food. Yeah. Could do with some food. Hey, it's Mitchell. Mitchell. Good afternoon. And thank you very much for the resub. 16-month streak. Thank you very much. How's Mitchell today?
You've come to the right place, brother.
Manoit, you've just made 1.5 litres of mixed fruit juice on your new juicer. 2 mangoes, pineapple, 4 bears, and a lime. You're alive, Mitchell. You survived Overlord. You survived the fun that is Overlord. I am doing fine. My voice keeps going. This game has got so much reading. There's so much text. Very said you've played this as well. I've already had 2 glasses of water. I don't feel I've got very far through the game yet. Oh, it's on your list. All right. Oh, okay. I'll give you one bit of advice, Mitchell. Just play it off stream. Hey, Viduri. Yeah, it's actually a very good game. It's just there's so much reading. It's very relaxing music. There. The music's good. I like the artwork. The story is very interesting. So yeah. Have you got the other Overlord? Or was this a viewer choice game yesterday, Mitchell? It would have been because it was Monday. Overlord. Yeah, that would have been a viewer choice, wasn't it? Okay. Do you have the follow-on game? There's a second one, isn't there? I have played these, but I don't know if I've got access to them. I played them all when they first came out. I loved them. They were a lot of fun. But I do not know if I still own them. Okay, I've got it on Xbox somehow. Yeah, I played them all when they first came out, but I don't have them on Steam. Or GOG, or anywhere. I had physical copies of them, but I don't know where they would be. It's hot and humid. Lummert. Lummert? I'm trying to think what word we would use up here, and it's gone out of my head. And it's I can't think what the word would be. The Overlord games were quite a lot of fun. They were a lot. I liked the humor in them and that, and I liked all the funny things like with your little goblins wearing the pumpkin helmets and that sort of thing. They're always a good laugh. Um, can't see that. Right, I better read more of this. Oh, I think Baron's trying to hawk his way out the cart flap. Let me just double check where he's at. I think there was a couple of spin-off games from memory, but Baron's trying to break out the hatch. Overlord. I was going to look it up. Game. Overlord 2, Overlord Dark Legend. There was Overlord Minions, Raising Hell, Fellowship of Evil. Yeah, Overlord Raising Hell, Overlord 2, Overlord Dark Legend, Overlord Minions, and then in 2015 Overlord Fellowship of Evil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Baron! 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 Don't know where he's at. Right. A narrow path leads north towards... Oh, we did that. Do we wave at them? Why not? Why not indeed? They talk for a bit, looking towards you and pointing at your mount, then walk away, disappearing behind the wall's corner. The guard smiles, yet avoids your eyes, and has to clear his throat before he speaks. Welcome, traveller. If you're new here to make trouble, Howler's Dell welcomes you. We have the whitest flower there is. Is that the town's status thing symbol? 5 stream streak, Mitra, you're doing better than me at watching your one, or trying to catch your one. I try and always get on, and then I end up having to leave it lurking, but... Oh, here's Baron coming. Baron's coming. He's coming up he's coming up. Here he comes. There's Baron. Very briefly as he jumps over to my desk. Oh, Mitchell did the Baron. He'll be back again. That's okay. We used to have an unbaron command, but I don't have it. He'll be here again. I'm too quick with my buttons. I don't have to type it in. We have the whitest flower there is. I wonder what they put in their flower to make it white then. Because it comes out as a grey colour when you mill it. He was looking twice as cool as this time. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yep. When he bows, you realise it's a well-practiced performance. If it's new garments you're looking for, you can order everything you need right here, in all colours, shapes, sizes, capes, boots, vests, robes. Or if you're yourself a master of the needle, I can assure you we have the fabric you're looking for. His act is over and he glances at your mount in a moment of silence. His eyes get wider as he observes it with a childlike fascination. Have they never seen a horse before? Especially a talking horse called Mr. Ed. I'm gonna do this. I'm Draven, your new road warden. You're not getting to pet my horse. City folk, aye, the mayor is busy, but I'll ask her. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks at the gate, which is then pulled inwards by two other guards. A man and a woman wearing their own gabardines, similarly green, but tailor-made to match their figures. The nearby buildings are simple houses made of wooden beams and covered with thatch, while the storehouse is even more modest, with a roof made of planks. The watchtower has a ladder made of ropes and sticks. No stairs. Just give me a moment. The guard strides away before he finishes the last word. The others close the gate behind you and observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east to a humming creek running through the centre of the village. You wait for the return of the messenger. Calming sound, aye. That's Howler's Creek. The guard, like most of the locals, is taller than you. Wide but shallow. There's nae been a flood in years. Pa told me there used to be nae bridges. Neighbours crossed it with their boots in their hands, and 'tis clean like a raindrop, but there are nae many fish. Sounds like he should be a bit Scottish saying that, so... We're the cleanest village in the north. Oh right, she's female in the first place. I had the wrong voice completely then. Her companion chuckles brightly. When the guard returns, he's still alone. She can nae come now. A friend of mine is in labour, aye. The mayor wants to be there when the child arrives, but I was asked to show you the village. You nod, fine. He approaches the watchtower. Tie your mount here. We'll keep the kids away. Most of the neighbours are getting ready to celebrate. Once you're done, he grabs the rope ladder. The view from up there is gorgeous. You nod and think of your knife. It's a trap you'll get in first. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guard gets to the top quickly, like a monkey climbing up creepers. You, on the other hand, need to stop and wait for the ladder to calm itself. When you join the man on the wooden platform, you're a bit dizzy. He's leaning on the wooden parapet, observing the area with a smile, with no weapon in sight. You've just noticed that all your boosts are in the top 20 now. Can you see all your boosts? Can you, Veru? Is there a way to see that? Oh, on Mitchell's. Sorry, I was thinking of a different boost, and it wasn't even the chocolate bar. Okay, you keep the spreadsheet open. Yeah. Mitchell's critical boost list. I've given up on Arx Fatalis for the time being. Are they open for anyone to see? Okay. I shall have a look. Listed by date, by game, and by viewer and by game. Okay, I'll have to have a look through that. Yeah. I should really have a proper look through your game list anyway. I just, sometimes I happen to notice a game when you're scrolling up it on the stream. I think, oh, I'll have to boost that one. Yeah, I look around. I've got about another quarter an hour left, so if anybody's got any ideas for somebody to raid, that would be fine. What's this? Is this... Okay. See, there's nae place like Howler's Dell. The guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. For the next few minutes he describes the fields and their crops, the flocks in the pastures, and the shepherds inspecting the fences, the ancient garden of trees and bushes larger than the village itself, the sunlight dancing on the stream to its own tune. If you are to believe everything it describes, this place has access to everything in abundance. The sweetest honey, the most fragrant bread, the softest wool. In the beer, 'tis excellent. He sounds like a city merchant who's trying to sell an old house. When an annoying kid near Hovland, you could find 5 large unricher settlements in less than 2 days. No wonder he's so proud. Why wouldn't he be? Not Baldur's Gate 3. No, Veru. You should be ashamed of yourself. We'll just do that one. The islet in the middle connects both parts of the village. According to the man, the northern gate is hardly ever opened, as it leads nowhere now. Near the western gate there's the Ape Ale Inn, where you can find a bed and victuals. Then there's the stall where Achilles rewards our work, unless we annoy him with pointless talk. He lets out a chuckle. Present you is disappointed in past you. On the opposite side of the creek there's another white house. It belongs to Bjorn, the best clothier in the north. The priests live in the southeast, near the wall, but they do nae talk to strangers. You also hear about the hunter, the cooper, the fisher, the miller. The pie maker lives with his sister, the baker. The smith and her husband, the carpenter, live with their kids. Some of the larger buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations at once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. You consider stopping his speech, but he suddenly points at the islet again. There, see, the mayor's coming, the one wearing purple. You're free to join her, traveller. So I presume you're standing up on here, on this tower. You nod and climb down. You try to get down quickly, but 2 steps are enough to make you sure that it's a bad idea. You wait for the ladder to find its balance. You're relieved when you touch the ground again. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasturage, surrounded by a wooden fence. A few loose chickens and a tethered boar. The fancier buildings are covered with whitewash coating and surrounded with vegetables, herbs and flowers. The bridges are wide enough to carry even a wagon, but for Ed, walking on the wooden beams is far from pleasant. The islet is empty, but you notice an empty stall, painted with the shapes of colourful flowers. Let's walk over the second bridge. Along the entire path, you notice more and more people observing you, smiling or casually greeting you as they're focused on their own tasks. Finally, you reach the main square. A large tree grows in the centre, surrounded by dark water. Is that the tree there? Held together by a thin wall perfect for sitting. But the smell coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The plant reminds you of the tree you saw in the south next to the swamp altar. In the north you see the Ape Ale Inn. Judging by the tables, stools and benches outside of it, it's open for guests. The villagers are chatting and dining loudly, and you catch their curious glances. On the side of the dining area the merchant is arguing with a tall, broad-shouldered worker. An old man is sitting by himself, eating a pie with a walking stick, leaning against the table. There they go again. They've not used the new word. Walking stick opposed against the table. A young woman is cleaning the empty mugs in the creek, speaking with a man at least twice her age. Shocking. Maybe her father. I need a spot to tether Ed. There's a wide wooden roof. right next to the gate that shelters carts, crates, and sacks. You move your mount next to a donkey. Eeyore. To a beam placed here just for this purpose. Without a moment of hesitation, Ed starts to chew on the nearby haystack. You have some time to make sure it doesn't struggle with your bundles. You return to the inn. I look for the mare and approach her. Sitting on a chair with 4-year-old boy on her knees, she's holding his hand gently, showing him how to eat gruel from a bowl. It's not a cheap meal, though you spot nuts, berries and milk, and the added honey makes it yellowish. The kid is clean and quiet, and once he notices your arrival, he crams his mouth with a spoonful of oats. Now, love, the mare titters. Do you get distracted? She rubs the meal off his face. A few more spoons and you'll go help Papa in the kitchen. She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile, and turns her attention back to her companion. You observe her more closely. Her long, full-sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in blue and once in red to achieve its dark, fancy purple, which would draw looks even in Hovleven. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape, as thin as a shawl. The brown belt on her waist has a large steel buckle that portrays a running deer with unrealistically large antlers, growing in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribesfolk, she's pale with powdered and rouged cheeks, and her lips match her outfit, though they're a bit closer to wine red. The thick, grey strands in her long blonde hair look more like a fashion choice than a result of aging. Her eyes are the colour of her cape, keen and vigorous. She's shorter than most people around, though would still be the tallest woman in the most of the northern settlements. While she's around 40, her slim hands add fragility to her appearance, even though her posture is upright, her legs confidently crossed, and her delicate voice assertive. She makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly ever move. I guess I'll wait. I'll be nice. After a few more minutes, the boy lets out a gentle cough, and after a pat on the back, the mare puts him on the ground. You did a great job, love, but now I need to speak with our guest, darling. She addresses one of the inn workers, a girl close to 15. Take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of a question or suggestion. Yes, ma, she responds. Both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother, and neither of the kids resemble their mother. So we have a Roadwarden again. Please sit down. She vaguely shows you the palm of her open hand, letting you pick any place you want. Sit on the bench next to her since you're a guest. I guess, sir. The flowing water hits silently the rocks and wooden stakes surrounding the isle, and splits into two stream beds. In the Hovleven, the river is surrounded by tall walls, protecting the banks from deterioration, and the water is seldom free of dirt. Here the smell is as fresh as it would be in the woods. The mare observes your outfit carefully, at first looking as if she just ate an onion, but then puts on a polite smile. Once your eyes meet, she hardly ever looks away. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. I am not looking the best. Hesitant to trust me. Torn and worn clothing. I appreciate it, I guess. Then they mention it. Hunger makes me peevish and the day is too nice for that. She taps her chest and looks at a flock of birds that fly above you loudly, heading south. As we're waiting, be so good as to help me understand something. Even if you're but a mercenary, I can't imagine a single reason for you to choose this realm for your wandering. Not so long after Esteron's disappearance. There's nae glory or treasures to find here. Her pale fingers form a tent on her stomach and then clasp, leaving the four fingers pointing at you. You were sent here by the merchants. They want the peninsula. Opportunity. slightly as I can. Simply explain. Keep them safe. Let's do that. No. Simply explain, I think. You introduce yourself and confirm her suspicions. Is that me saying? Yeah. The guild and the deputy are in agreement. They are willing to send troops to this place, defend the settlements and patrol the roads. They'd cover their pay. You'd only have to look after their board and lodging. You explain that the rate of taxes is open to negotiations, but they would be taken twice a year in spring and fall. You've time to think about it. You assure her. And you're free to consult with your people. Safer roads bring many travellers, artisans, merchants. I know you realise it's an opportunity. Yes, I do. She finally interrupts you. But roads bring other people as well. Not all of them desired by us. As she observes your palfrey, she twists her deer buckle left and right, left and right. The times have changed, and your superiors were kind enough to send me a messenger. Not a temple guard with a list of demands. She grasps the buckle with her fist, but when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Her accent is now almost identical to the one used in the city. Let's go for this one. I'm telling you everything I know. I can't ask you to trust me, but I'm not hiding anything. Even if you're eager to put trust in the words of a stranger, your honesty has nothing to do with the truth, necessarily. It doesn't put me in an easy position, as you can imagine. Here, listen to this trick I learned about during my studies. She theatrically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand and covering her mouth with another, then leans forward and rests on her elbows, allowing her hands to freely make gestures. You make a deal with a settlement, flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders, and they imply that you're ready to pay more for, let's say, parchment. Months later, you want no more rye, just the parchment and wool. We can butcher any more mouflons, the locals say. Don't worry, you answer. We'll send you a small flock. Just turn one of your fields into pasturage. As she pretends to speak as different characters, her voice comically shifts, and she has no issue switching between accents. Kind smile. She swings her hand above the table. Another year goes by, and while there's more parchment, the village lacks some crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but also seeds, and the guild is not satisfied. Sending our wagons costs a lot, and there are more highwaymen now. If you want us to come again, you need more mouflons and to sell us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she straightens up and spreads her arms like someone a third her age. Turns out that the village can't say no anymore. They lack supplies, seas and land. They can't refuse. Nod that she's right, I think. The pause doesn't linger for long. I see we understand each other. Let's finish the introductions. I'm Thias, one of the keepers of Apilin and the mayor of Howlerstein. I assume it would be convenient for you to take my answer back to Hovloven. She wonders for a moment. Say, when could we expect the first caravan? After winter? It depends on what you can sell and what you want to in return. Right. Sorry. I will save there. If I can do a quick save. How do I get out of this? Main menu. Okay, it auto-saved anyway. That was Roadwarden, which was picked by Very Monroe for me to play today. I was enjoying that I was enjoying the storyline, and I liked the artwork. It's quite an intriguing game. A lot of reading. I will finish this off, but probably off stream. But I will play it. I will play that more because I was enjoying the story, and I want to see where it leads. So yeah, no, I did enjoy that. If anybody else has got any other games that I have or own, or free that anybody wants to redeem points for in the future, just that's fine. I will give any game a go. I may not be good at them, but we will give it a go. I will try and fit them in on a Tuesday in between first looks that I get sent. So. But yeah, Roadwarden. So thank you again. Right. I will have to stop there. I will be back tomorrow morning. We are going to be finishing off Creepy Tales 3, the adventure game. And we're going on Thursday, Friday, we're going to be starting Final Fantasy 5. I have to think which number we're on. Saturday is going to be Dwarf Fortress instead of Sunday, probably, because we're doing the modder boss on Sunday, although something's come up and I might not make it, but I will do my best to be there on Sunday as well. To do that, since it is, hopefully, it's the same time as we had for last Sunday. So I should be able to make it, as long as it doesn't take too long. But that's the rest of this week. Let me find somebody to raid. Let's see who's on. Oh, Udai's doing art. Why is it doing art? Just seeing who we've got. We haven't raided Arachne for a while. Arachne is playing Terranigma. We shall raid over to Arachne. I have a new raid command which should, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to test it out today. Let me just, I'm hoping this works. I set this up. Yeah, it did. A bit of info about who we're going to raid, and there's my raid messages. For subs and for non-subs. If I can get it copied myself, there we go. So yeah, we're going to head over to Arachne. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the follows and the resubs. Very much appreciated. I am going to go rest my voice now before tomorrow's stream. I'm going to get some plenty to drink. So yeah, until next time. No, very. Until next time though, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I will roll my credits very briefly and then head over. So until then, take care, be safe, and I will say bye for now.